Tomcats, I gotta keep my eye on you. You're plugged up. I gotta make sure you poo over the next few days. Well, you got some laxatives going in you, so I'm hoping we can free you up. Otherwise, we're going to the vet. I know, Tomcats, you're plugged up. You've been plugged up. I've not driven the Jeep in a while, so gonna use it to run some errands. I gotta go to 4-Wheel Parts, pick up something, and go to Metal Supermarket. Give me a chance to try that dash camera out too, see how well it works. So now I just got home. I'm gonna have to review the dash footage off that camera, see how good it is. And if it didn't record anything decent, well, I guess you got no B-roll. And it just would have jumped from one scene to the other. So I went to Metal Supermarket, picked up some metal to make my fire extinguisher mount for the Jeep. And then went to 4-Wheel Parts. Is that how it's gonna be, eh? Is that how it's gonna be? I picked up the Trasharoo bag. Hopefully it'll be better than the last one. Jeez, look at the size of that bag. It is quite a bit bigger than my last one, like twice the size. Hey, buddy. Well, the good news is Tomcat did take a dump today. It's still hard pellets instead of a normal stool, so you gotta keep him on the laxatives for a while. He's plugged up, and I keep my eye on him. Once we get his stool back to normal, see how he is. Might have to take him to a vet pretty quick, check him out. His yearly appointment's coming up soon in a month, so he's still eating, he's still drinking. Just gotta keep my eye on him. He's old. He's about 17 now, so he's at that age where all of a sudden his health could just change and that's it, done. I love the guy. He's been a great pet for the last, I don't know, 6-7 years that I've had him since I rescued him, but I have to realize too that he probably doesn't have too much time left. All right, just in the truck now. I've had this power steering type whine noise for a while, so I'm gonna take it out for a spin, and then I'm going to pull the belt off and manually spin all the pulleys and see if I can find one that doesn't feel right. Sort of hear the resonance of something. So there's actually two bearings that are a concern to me. One is this one. You can just see how well or how much it spins. It means the bearing's getting dry when you compare it to, let's say, this one. Lots of grease in that one. And this ribbed one, I don't know if you're going to be able to see too well. It's one I got from the junkyard. It seems pretty dry too. So this one here has got a 6203 bearing. And I actually got one right there that we're going to replace. But if you could take your pulley and it spins like that, those bearings are on the way out. Plus with my finger in there, I can feel a little bit of play. So we're going to change this. 12 ton. Yeah, it just drops it right through. And feel it bottom out. So new bearings in. See what I mean? So much grease in there. That's how it's supposed to be. So now this is where you got to think outside the box. This was my junkyard pulley. I can feel it. Its bearings are getting pretty dry. What if I couldn't get a bearing right away? What if I couldn't get a new idler? You need your vehicle. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna show you. First off, I'm gonna take some brake cleaner. I'm gonna clean up all the dirt around where that seal is, and the same on the back side. These seals, for the most part, will lift up from the outside. Got that one out, and you can see the cage in there. And then I'm gonna try to, I get this back side out too, or maybe, there we go. Yeah, that's pretty dry. So you can see it right there, those balls are pretty dry. They don't look like they're worn out in the cage though. They're still in the cage, not dropping out. So we could definitely salvage that. I'm gonna take my brake clean, spray that out inside. That will clean up the bearings. Whoops, drop my rag. That's not what I want. This side's not too important, so I'm just gonna put just a light film of grease on this back side, and then I'm gonna pop that seal back in. There we go, seal's back in, flip it over. Once you got her loaded, rotate it around, pack more grease in there. Load her up nice and tight, nice and tight. Same thing, drop that seal in. Start working from the outside, working that seal back in place with all that grease. Now remember how the spun before? Nice and tight, nice and tight. That's how we want it. Now for the pro tip. If you're gonna do the seal trick like I did it, you gotta make sure that seal is tucked back in, because if it's not, that seal could pop out on the side towards the block, and it wouldn't take much for all the grease to come out and the bearing to suffer catastrophic failure in no time at all. Well, that settles that. That is one more job off the list of things to do. I need to, what time is it? 3:43. Time to feed Tomcat, give him his laxatives, give him his omega-3 oil for his joints that are clicking because he's old, and bring him outside again. Hey buddy, you don't want to eat from that bowl. We got your laxatives in that one. Come on. Come on. You gotta go for the good one. You gotta go one with the soft food that's gonna make you poo. I put some carpet down so he's gotta sniff it all out. Also screwed some carpet down on his ramp because he slept earlier today. See if he's gonna try it out. Hey buds, what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, no more slipping. So now I just got this map out of the Livingston area where me and Aubrey are thinking about going out for just the night. Is that we're gonna come up Maycroft, and then on my last trip I only came up to about here, but they're gonna continue going up and camp along somewhere on Racehorse Creek. I think that's kind of the goal. Starting to get dark, gonna rain. Watch is telling me that's supposed to. Just relaxing with a fire with my dandelion infested backyard. Doesn't help that the fields over there are full of them. Got this pipe. Haven't smoked it in a while. The old Milwaukee. Came outside to drive my car, and it turns out the parking brakes are stuck. The driver's side, as you can see, the parking cable is kind of seized up. I'm gonna spray some PB Blaster down there, and then see if I can free it up. I had no plans to do anything today, except I went to go get groceries. I found the parking brakes were seized on the car, but only the caliper on that side was, and I freed it up. So I'm gonna take the tire off this one, and then gonna spray down the lever for the caliper parking brake as well. So this is what I'm dealing with, is that lever started to stick. So I'm gonna use some fluid film on it. I know I used this one time. A lot of people are trying to say it's not a penetrant when it says clearly right on it, superior lubricant and penetrant. So lucky for me, this happened at home, and if it ever happens to you, probably the hardest thing is going to be is getting the tire off. We all know how those seize up, but I was able to lightly tap this with a hammer, and then I just tapped the lever back and it freed up. So now I just got her sprayed down with fluid film, and I'm just going to operate the handbrake, record it, and then watch it back and see how it works. I think this is something I'm going to add to my yearly maintenance. I love my car, don't get me wrong, but why they went with wheel studs instead of lug nuts is beyond me, because if you don't have that tire perfectly lined up on that little center hub, you're going to be fighting with it. Friggin' hot out too, boys. Jesus. I must have kicked back about a liter of water already. Tomcats, I'm so proud of you. This is the first time I've seen you jump up here since you've been constipated. Since you've been plugged up, you haven't been jumping up here. So the laxatives must be working. I know. And I feel bad that I didn't notice that. Probably for the last couple months, you were constipated because you were pooping nuggets, and I didn't really think nothing of it. And I know, I'm sorry, Tomcat. I've never had a kitty before, so I don't know all the signs and symptoms to look for. It's a good thing at least I talked to her. She's the one who told me you're constipated. Oh, just doing a quick scan. Make sure there's no hidden issues, that hasn't tripped an OBD code yet. Tried to get the data, because this injector 1 deviates so much, but after taking it out for a rip, now the number's dropped again. Crazy. Now the number is... I'm going to... I've always been using Esso fuel. I think I'm going to go to Shell and fuel up with their diesel and dump a shitload of injector cleaner in there and then take it out for a good long rip and see what the results are. So maybe that's what I'll do. I will maybe go fill it up tonight, add half a bottle of injector cleaner, take it out for a quick rip to the mountains tomorrow. Down by like Turner Valley, Black Diamond area, go for a rip, just kind of stretch its legs. Because one thing that's hard on a diesel, especially, I haven't been taking on any long trips since this whole COVID thing started. And that's not good for a diesel. You need to really work a diesel. If you're not getting up to like proper temperatures, you're just like filling the engine full of carbon. So I need to take it out for a good long rip, measure the injectors before and after, and see if it makes any difference. Barometer is sure dropping now. Oh shit, shut her down. Tornado warning. Jesus. Good thing I grabbed Tomcat from outside, because this is sure coming in fast. Comes the friggin' hail and the wind. I'll try to record this. The thunder will not stop. I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick it up. Rain's starting to come down again. That's a pretty good hail. Clouds are angry. What are you doing, buddy? Are you grooming your shaved hair? Do you want some belly rubs? Do you want some belly rubs? Do you? Moms. Look at that, holy crap. There we go, that's much better. Got some airflow going through. Also, on the range fan, I put that one on too, make sure it's gonna flow, because I swear sometimes I've heard birds. What you really need are those vents like that. Now it's for the big test. Pretty sure the problem will be solved, but you never know until you test it. Yes! Nice dried clothes. Hey, what's going on? I see you had a poop last night. It's still nuggets. So you're still blocked up. Hopefully the laxatives will start to work soon. I know how much it must be uncomfortable for you. I know. I need to take you inside now because I gotta cut the weeds in your cat cage. I know. Just at the Flying J Shell and fueled up with Shell diesel. I haven't used Shell diesel in a while. I've been using Esso for past forever. So I'll go home, get my scanner, and go for a good boot. So now I'm gonna get ready to head out on a good run. About 100 kilometers or so. Got about a half a bottle of cetane and injection cleaner in there. I can see right now injector number 1 is pretty close to zero, so I don't suspect I'm going to have any issues with surging. Love these old bridges with the wooden deck. Yeah, it's pretty fun to drive over. Now, if you look at injector number 1, it's kind of way out to whack. I'm not experiencing any kind of surging or bucking yet. I'm just keeping an eye on that number. There we go, that number's jumped up. So I've driven over 100 kilometers, and do you think I could get the car to reproduce the surging? Nope. Couldn't get it to reproduce it yesterday either, but when I don't want it to happen, I don't have the scanner with me, it doesn't. But at least I drove over 100 kilometers. I got a good run on the car, got all the temperatures up. Fortunately, no luck. I just got home. Injector's not acting up. So at the moment, I'm not really in any kind of rush to change it out. I'll run it through for the next couple tanks of fuel. I'll run that shell through it. Someone had advised me to do it and claim that helped them out, but you never know, right? Try it out, see what happens. Alright, everybody, shut it down. Motherfucking Beer Town. We got some Old Milwaukee. Back in the old days, I used to drink Old Milwaukee a lot when they used to have the pinup girls on the cans. And I don't know what happened when they quit putting the pinup girls on the cans and they quit putting the pinup girls on the boxes, and it just went to this labeling. Food didn't quite taste the same. And this is the first time I've drank it in a few years because I traded those parts for it, and you know what? It's still not the way it was. However, once this warm out, beer is beer. So there's quite a few things that I took care of in this video. I'm going to keep my eye on that bearing, checking in a little bit. Make sure that that seal doesn't pop off on the block side. It'll be easy to tell because there'll be so much grease. But I think I could probably get easily a few more years out of that bearing. Probably longer. So I won't be needing to... I hope to get rid of the truck next year. I need to start on a new project next year. So still haven't made any progress in the job department at the time of this filming. Been applying for a few jobs, but not too much is happening. There was one company, it was a cheese manufacturing plant or something. I can't remember the name of them now, but they called me for a telephone interview because during this whole COVID thing, they're weeding out people through telephone calls first, and asked me a bunch of questions, this and that, and asked if I had any questions for them. So I said, just out of curiosity, how many people applied for this job? She said over 1,000. So there's a lot of millwrights out of work if there's over 1,000 people applied for one job. And the pay wasn't even that great either. So what does that tell you? I don't know. I might have to step away from the trade, but I think honestly, when it comes to finding a job, it's going to be somebody I know will get me a job, or maybe somebody local that's been, you know, watching my videos forever, and they work for somebody who's looking for somebody. Get a job that way, because it's going to be who you know instead of actually applying for a job because there's so many people out of work. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it at the time being. If I have to, I might have to fucking pack up and leave. Maybe I'll get a different place with larger garage. Anyways, if you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate the support you guys give me over the years. There's got a bunch of little loose ends to tie up, little loose projects coming up in the future before we get right back into more fabrication and shit on the Jeep. But right now, I just want to enjoy for the summer. I want to do, you know, lots of camping, some light wheeling, that kind of stuff. But I hope you guys are enjoying the video series, and I'll see you guys in the next one.